See you later.
See you later, Mom. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I hope everyone is doing well. Today, Cle Folio will be informing you how to buy real estate in the Dominican Republic. Your international property awaits. This is a copyright notice. All rights reserved to Cle Folio LLC. Now let's get into about me. Now I'm going to share with you my background. I'm your go-to certified international sales agent, here to help you explore the exciting world of global real estate. Whether you're a rental property owner looking to expand your horizons, whether you're purchasing an investment property or thinking about relocating, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. I specialize in helping buyers identify and purchase rental properties that align with their goals. Let's turn the key to your international property together. We'll find the perfect rental property and make your global real estate dreams come true. So let's dive in. Okay. So becoming an international sales agent, my journey started when my journey in real estate began November 2016 when I was a housing specialist, where I worked directly with individuals and families transitioning from shelters into permanent housing. In this role, I gained hands-on experience navigating housing programs, eligibility requirements. I gained and the real-life challenges people face when securing stable housing. In the summer 2017, driven by my passion for helping people find not just housing, but the right home, I pursued my real estate license and became a licensed agent in December 2017. As an agent, I assisted clients in finding a home, guiding them through the process with care, transparency, and strong understanding of the housing market. For the past 4 years, I have worked as a senior paralegal within Housing Court, where I developed deep knowledge of landlord-tenant law, housing regulations, and legal procedures. This experience allows me to approach real estate transactions with a unique legal perspective, anticipating issues, protecting clients' interests, and ensuring transactions are handled correctly and professionally. Together, my background in housing services, real estate sales, and housing court law gives me a well-rounded, client-focused approach rooted in both compassion and expertise. So, core values. This is Cle Folio's core values. We're rooted in integrity and client-focused values. Our approach combines expertise, empathy, and continuous learning to provide exceptional real estate experiences that exceed expectations. Your success is not just a goal, but a commitment. Okay, so we're looking at the difference between working with an international sales agent versus a local real estate agent, and when purchasing property abroad. Okay. First, an international sales agent who works with U.S. buyers understands the needs, expectations, and cultural differences that American clients may have. This can make the process much smoother because they can help bridge the gap between U.S. practices and the local real estate system. Second, international agents usually have a trusted network of professionals such as attorneys, escrow agents, and other experts. This helps protect buyers and ensures they're working with legitimate professionals throughout the process. Another important factor is language and communication. Being fluent in English and familiar with the U.S. real estate terminology helps reduce confusion and makes complex real estate concepts easier for buyers to understand. Lastly, many buyers feel a greater sense of trust and comfort when working with someone who understands their concerns and guide them step by step through an international purchase. Overall, working with an international sales agent can make the experience more transparent, secure, and easier for U.S. buyers in purchasing property abroad. Okay, so now we're going to get into the market. Okay. So Dominican Republic isn't just a vacation destination, it's one of the most compelling investment opportunities in the Western Hemisphere. Right now, let me show you why. First, look at the scale of demand. The DR has positioned itself as a global hub for living and investing, drawing between 51 and 63% of all international tourists in every single year. That consistent inflow is what's fueling real economic expansion. And that growth is real, sustained, not a blip. We're talking record-breaking tourism numbers, a rapidly expanding infrastructure, and rising foreign investments. The Dominican Republic consistently ranks as one of the fastest-growing economies in all of the Caribbean and Latin America. That's not marketing, that's the data. Finally, accessibility. One of the Caribbean's busiest international airports. Nonstop flights from major global cities, modern highway networks connecting the entire country. For investors, tourists, and business travelers alike, the Dominican Republic is easy to get to and easy to operate in. So the question isn't whether consider Dominican Republic, it's which property best fits you. Now let's talk about where these opportunities are. We're focusing on 3 distinct developments as of now, today, across the Dominican Republic, each one different in character, but all sharing the same fundamental strong location, high demand, and serious upside down. So the top picture is Coral Golf Resort. It's a real estate initiative of lots and flats to create a high-end multifamily residential complex on an 18-hole golf course. Under that picture is Bravaro, the vibrant tourism-focused hub of Punta Cana on the Dominican Republic's Coconut Coast. And the next one is La Galleta Semana. It's a tranquil, scenic fishing village located at the eastern tip of the Semana Peninsula in the northeast Dominican Republic. Now the developments. I will be sharing with you 3 today. The first development is Moon Garden, one of the most complete lifestyle offers in all of Punta Cana. So let me walk you through what Moon Garden offers, because the details here is what set it apart. There are 197 residents in total, 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms, and right now around 62 listings are available. Every single unit has views of both the lake and the golf course. That's not premium upgrade, that's the standard. Every owner gets it. The project was designed by Morph, a Spanish architecture studio with a strong international reputation. The vision is clear: wellness, leisure, and quiet luxury, not flashy or refined. The amenities. In terms of amenities, you have everything you'd expect from a 5-star resort: gym, spa, restaurants, a sports bar, plus an open-air gymnasium, children's pool, pet park, La Carolina as a community centerpiece, a pedestrian promenade, and parking. It's all there. Prices for this development is starting at $275,000, and each developer has their own payment plan, so there's flexibility depending on what works best got you financially. What you're really buying here is a resort lifestyle at a residential price point, with the added benefit of a strong rental demand in one of the most visited destinations in the Caribbean. The next development I am introducing to you is Azul. We're shifting gears here, both in location and in lifestyle. The second development sits in a completely different pocket of the Dominican Republic. So Azul offers 2 distinct living options: condos and duplex penthouses. So there's an entry point for different types of buyers and investors. The community features a pool, cabanas for shared resort style living, and select units major draw for both personal use and high-end short-term rentals. Let me walk you through how these residences configured. So the ground floor consists of living room, dining room, and 2 bedrooms. The first floor features a living room, full kitchen, and 2 bedrooms. The second floor is reserved for the penthouse level, has kitchen, bedroom, sitting area, and living room. It's generally spacious, multi-level living experience. These aren't small units. Here's what elevates the investment case for Azul. Our new cruise port is currently under development in the area, and it's not a rumor, it's actually an infrastructure, and infrastructure drives value. On top of that, Samana is already internationally recognized for whale watching, which draws a specific high spending tourism market every season. The condo starts at $300,000, and duplex penthouses start at $750,000. As with other developments, as stated before, each developer offers their own payment plan so we can find structure that fits your goals. Between the cruise port coming online and the growing tourism profile and the natural beauty of Samana Azul represents the kind of opportunity where not just buying a property, you're buying ahead the curve. Secret Garden. So our third development brings us back to the energy of Punta Cana, and this one is for buyers who want to be right in the middle of it all. So Secret Garden is situated in the heart of Bravaro. Is a fully gated closed community, which means privacy, security, and curated living environment from the moment you arrive. This is substantial project is built on a 50,000 square meter plot. Secret Garden offers 377 units in total. Right now, is 19 duplex units, 64 studio apartments, 278 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms configurations. There are also dedicated areas for family homes and villas, plus a commercial zone built right into the community. In terms of lifestyle, this development holds nothing back. Residents have access to a gym, co-working space, beach volleyball court, restaurants, pool bar, mini golf, a children's pool, and playground. Expansive garden areas and the centerpiece of a 1,800 square meter swimming pool. That's not a pool, that's a destination. What makes Secret Garden particularly compelling is its dual appeal. It works equally well as primary or secondary residence and as a vacation rental investment. You're in the heart of Bravaro, steps from the beach, and one of the Caribbean's highest demand tourism corridors. Occupancy here is not a question. Whether you're looking for a personal retreat or performing access, Secret Garden checks both boxes. And with the range of unit types available, there's truly something here every profile. Okay. I hope you guys are following along. Okay, so now we're going to get into the process of buying a home in Dominican Republic. Okay, so the first step we're moving into is proof of funds. So proof of funds. All right. So the very first step in the Dominican Republic process is what we call proof of funds. This is where everything begins. Before we can even start looking at property seriously, we need to understand that you can actually afford it. This isn't about limiting your dreams. It's about setting you up for success so that when you find the right property, you're ready to move. The first thing we're going to do together is determine your budget. That means looking at your income, your expenses, and any existing debts. We want a full honest picture of your financial situation, not just what comes in and out, but what goes every month. And here's something a lot of buyers don't think about upfront. Your budget isn't just the purchase price or the monthly mortgage payment. We also have to factor in property taxes, maintenance costs. These things add up, and we want to make sure you're comfortable with full price, not just the headline number. So the key message here is be realistic, do your research. The more honest you are at this stage, the smoother everything else will be. Once we know your budget, we move into acquiring your financing, and this is what really gives you your buying power. Getting your finances in order early gives you a clear idea exactly how much you can afford, and it makes the entire home buying process significantly smoother. Sellers take you more seriously, and you can act quickly when the right property comes up. So to recap, know your numbers, be honest about your budget, and get your financing lined up early. This foundation is what everything else is built on. Okay, so I put my barcode here because once after this virtual open house, Cle Folio also offers 15-minute buyer consultations where we could go over your funds and other things that will fit into the home buyer process. So the second step is obtain permit approval. And the best thing is, okay, so this step surprises a lot of people, especially buyers coming from the United States, Canada, or Europe. Where purchasing property as a foreigner can involve a lot of red tape, but this step is obtain permit approval. And here's the good news. In the Dominican Republic, you don't need one. That's right. As a foreigner, you do not need a special permit to purchase property here. This is actually one of the biggest advantages of investing in the Dominican Republic, and it's something I love sharing with clients because it immediately removes a major barrier that people assume exists. The reason for this, rooted in the country's constitution and laws, which grant foreign investors the same property rights as Dominican citizens. You are treated equally under the law. There is no second-class status for foreign buyers here. So what this means for you as a buyer, it means one less hurdle, one less document, one less wait time. You can move through the buying process with confidence, knowing that your rights as a property owner are fully protected by Dominican law. The same protections a local citizen would have. No special approvals, no government permit applications. Okay. Now, while you don't need a permit, there are still important legal steps involved in the purchase process, and that's why having the right team around you matters, which is step 3. Gather your team together. Okay. So we talked about your finances. We cleared up the permit question. Now comes one of the important steps in the entire process. Build your team. This is where a lot of buyers make mistakes. They try to navigate the purchase alone, or they rely on the wrong people. Step 3 is all about making sure you have the right professionals in your corner before you go any further. At this stage, you want to start gathering the key people who guided you through the legal and logistical side of transactions. Besides having an international sales agent, a good attorney is essential. They will review the contracts, verify the titles, conduct the due diligence on the property, and make sure your investment is fully protected under the Dominican law. Remember, buying property is a team sport. The right attorney, the right agent, the right network. These are what separate smooth transactions from stressful ones. We're here to help you build that team. Let's keep going. Step 4 is next. Okay. And now step 4. Step 4, this is the fun part, selecting your property. So now you got your finances sorted out. You know you don't need a permit. You've got your team in place. Now it's time to actually choose the property you want to purchase. Let me walk you through exactly how this works. So first thing to know, all of our properties we work with are new construction. These are modern, brand new developments, not resales, not fixer-uppers. You're buying into something that is being built today in today's standards in some of the most desirable locations in the Dominican Republic. What you're looking at on this slide gives you a feel for the caliber of developments we're talking about: resort style living, thoughtful design, and real investment potential. Once you found the property you want, the next step is to secure it with a reservation fee of $5,000. The fee does 2 things. It takes the property off the market and it holds it exclusively for you 30 days. Give you time to finalize your financing and get your legal paperwork in order. Now, I want to be very clear about something important. This $5,000 fee is non-refundable. So before you put that reservation fee down, you want to be confident about your decision. That's why we go through all of the steps first. By the time you're selecting your property, you should already know your budget, have your financing direction, and have your attorney lined up. You're not guessing at this point, you're committing. After the reservation, you moved into the payment structure. And here's something great about buying new construction. in the Dominican Republic. Every development has its own payment plan. If you opt into a payment plan, payments are structured and due every 30 days. This makes it manageable and predictable. You know exactly what's coming and when. However, and this is critical, I need you to hear this clearly. When purchasing property in the Dominican Republic, all monies paid are non-refundable. This is the standard practice here and is different from what buyers may be used to in other markets. Once money changes hands in the process, it is committed. This is precisely why steps 1 through 3 exist, and we want you walking into step 4 fully prepared, fully informed, and fully ready to move forward. Selecting your property is an exciting moment, is the moment your investment becomes real. Just make sure you go in with your eyes open, your team ready, and your finances confirmed. We're here to guide you through every detail so that when you say yes to a property, it's confident and informed yes. Okay. So now Cle Folio presents a vacation weekend, November 6th through the 9th, a 3-day real estate event in the Dominican Republic designed to help you purchase safely, legally, and profitably without the guesswork. Excursions and education included. Y si tú hablas en español, felicidades and bienvenido. How property, day 1 will be like a meet and greet. This is where you're going to start with understanding how property purchases works in the Dominican Republic, legal structure, titles, ownership considerations, common mistakes foreign buyers make, and how to avoid them. Market insights and investment strategies. Meet your real estate team and fellow attendees. You're going to end the evening with a relaxed meet and greet designed for real conversations, not sales pitches. Guided real estate tours, see real options in real time. So this, you're gonna visit residential investment properties. You're gonna learn how to evaluate location, pricing, long-term value. You're gonna be able to ask questions and reserve your property directly on site, understand timelines, contracts, and next steps. So transportation is included to go to each property. You can focus on learning and not logistics. So now day 3 is gonna be curated excursion where you get to experience the lifestyle. You're going to explore the culture, environment, and day-to-day feel of the Dominican Republic. You decide if this country aligns with your lifestyle or investment goals. You're going to connect with other attendees and relax setting, because buying abroad isn't about more is about more than numbers. It's about what fits you. So the next step is due diligence. This is step 5. This is the beginning of the closing process. And so this is where your attorney really earns its keep. So, and it's one of the most important steps in the entire process, due diligence. So remember back in step 3, when we talked about getting your team together, this is exactly why. Because before any money beyond the reservation fee moves, your attorney needs to dig into the property and make sure everything is clear, and legally sound. Due diligence in the Dominican Republic is the process of verifying the property's legal and financial status before you complete the purchase. Think of it as a full background check on the property. So you wouldn't hire someone without checking their reference, and you shouldn't buy a property without verifying its legal standing either. This process has 3 key components, and I want to walk you through each one. So the first is title search and verification. Your attorney will conduct a public registry review. This is formal search of the official government records to confirm who the legal owner of the property is. Alexa,
until Friday, June 5th, 11 p.m.
And to ensure there are no outstanding claims, liens, or disputes attached to it. This is non-negotiable. You need to know that the person or developer selling you the property actually has the legal right to sell it, and that you won't inherit any hidden problems along with it. So the second component is legal and regulatory compliance, specifically verifying the property's tax status. Your attorney will confirm that all property taxes have been paid up to date. If there are unpaid taxes on the property, that becomes your problem. The moment you take ownership, this checks makes sure you're starting with a clean slate. And third, perhaps the most critical piece is the review of the sales agreement. Every word of your purchase contract will be reviewed by your attorney to ensure it protects your interests as the buyer and that it fully complies with the Dominican law. This is not the time to sign something you don't fully understand. Your attorney is there to explain it, flag anything unusual, and make sure the terms are fair and legally binding in your favor. This is exactly why we say don't skip step 3. Having the right attorney in place means this step goes smoothly and you move forward with complete confidence. Due diligence is what protects your investment. It's what separates a secure purchase from a risky one. Once your attorney has completed all 3 of these checks and you've reviewed and signed the sale agreement, you are ready to move into the final stages of the process. Let's keep going. Step 6 is next. Step 6. Now, this is the deposit. It gets funner and funner as we go on. Okay. So step 6, the deposit. All right, so you've completed your due diligence. Your attorney has reviewed everything. You're ready to sign the contract. Now it's time to put your real skin in the game. The deposit is due at the signing of the contract and typically is 20% of the purchase price. And just like the reservation fee, I want to be upfront with you. This deposit is non-refundable. So by this point in the process, you are fully committed. This is not a maybe. This is not let me think about it. When you sign the contract and you put down your 20%, you're moving forward with the purchase. Again, this is exactly why we walk you through every step before getting here. We want you to be confident, informed, and ready when this moment comes. How the timeline works. Here's how the timing flows. The deposit is due 30 days after your $5,000 reservation fee was collected. Remember, that reservation fee held the property for you for 30 days. That window is your time to finalize your due diligence, get your contract reviewed, and prepare your deposit funds. When those 30 days are up, it's time to sign and put down that 20%. And keep in mind, every development has their own payment plan structure, so the exact breakdown may vary depending on which property you're purchasing. Now, here's something I want to highlight because it's a real advantage with this particular developer. Typically, the full 20% is due in one lump sum at contract signing, but this developer has given us the flexibility to break that deposit into 2 payments. This is not standard. This is not something you find everywhere. It's a significant benefit that makes the entry point more manageable, especially for buyers who are structuring their cash flow or who want to preserve liquidity while still securing their property. So instead of coming up with the full 20% all at once, you have the ability to split, giving you more breathing room as you move through the process. The deposit is the moment this purchase becomes truly official. It's an exciting milestone, and with the flexibility this developer is offering, it's more accessible than you might expect. Make sure you have your funds planned and ready within that 30-day window. After your reservation, your attorney and your team should already be in place at this stage, so this step should feel like a natural next move. Let's keep going. Step 7 is next. Okay. Step 7 is the closing. This is the moment everything has been building towards. You've done the work, you followed the process, and now it's time to make it official. At closing, the remaining balance is sometimes due. This is typically triggered one of the two ways, either 30 days after your deposit was made or according to your development specific payment plan. We will get into that later on. Every development structure is this slightly differently, which is why it's so important to understand your payment plan from the start. Your team should have this mapped out well in advance so there are no surprises when closing day arrives. Now, I want to address something that matters a lot to buyers, especially international buyers who are wiring significant amounts of money. Our office will not collect any monies from you. Not a single dollar passes through Cle Folio. All funds are wired directly to either the development or the brokerage. And I want you to feel confident about that because our brokerage is American owned. That means you have an added layer of accountability, transparency, and professionalism backing you up the entire transaction. This is not a situation where you're sending money to an unknown entity. You know who you're working with, you know where the funds are going, and your attorney has already reviewed and the agreement that governs all of it. One more thing that makes this process incredibly convenient, especially for our international buyers. The closing is done virtually. You do not need to be on a plane, just like how you're sitting on your couch right now. You could be you could be on your couch during your closing. You don't need to fly during the Dominican Republic. The entire closing process can be completed remotely, which means you can secure investment from wherever you are in the world. This is a modern, streamlined process designed with an international mind. The last and final step is the delivery. Okay, so now this is the moment you've been waiting for. Key delivery. This is it. This is what all 7 steps have been leading to. The paperwork is done. The funds has been transferred. The deal is closed. And now it's time to hand you the keys to your very own international property. You started this journey by getting your finances in order. You learned you didn't need a permit. You built your team. You selected your property. You did your due diligence. You put down your deposit. And you close the deal. And now you hold the keys, not to a dream, not to a plan, to real physical property in the Dominican Republic that belongs to you. Okay, so our team put together a sample payment plan. So this is a sample payment plan for a condo that is $300,000. This is a complete breakdown of all payments from reservation fee through the key delivery. So the reservation fee is $5,000. So once you've identified a property you like to move forward with, you will notify our office. From that point, you will have 48 hours to submit your completed reservation form and decide whether you'll be paying in full or on a payment plan. The $5,000 reservation fee immediately removes the unit from the market. The developer, while you finalize your financing and legal preparation, the fee is applied towards your purchase price, reducing your remaining balance to $295,000. Keep in mind, the reservation fee is non-refundable. Now, contract signing and first deposit. 30 days after the reservation fee is received, you will sign your purchase contract and submit your first deposit. The standard deposit for this transaction is 20%. However, this developer has offered the flexibility to split the deposit into 2 separate payments. The first deposit represents 10% of the purchase price, 30%. Since your $5,000 reservation fee has already been applied, the amount due at contract signing is $25,000. All funds are wired directly to the developer. Cle Folio does not accept or handle any monies. 30 days after the contract signing, the second and final deposit installment is due. This represents the remaining 10% of the 20% deposit, totaling $30,000. At this point, your combined deposit payments total $60,000, and construction payments will begin on a quarterly schedule. So the remaining 70% of the purchase price, which is $210,000, is paid throughout the construction period in quarterly installments every 3 months, continuing through December 2028. Okay, this breaks down to 24 payments, and the 24 payments will equal to $8,750 each. A predictable and manageable schedule that aligns with the construction timeline. So that before key delivery, you already paid $270,000. Now, the key delivery and final payment, which is step 5, the final 10%, which is $30,000, is due at closing in December of 2028. The moment you receive the keys to your international property, this completes your total purchase of $300,000. The closing is conducted virtually. You're not required to travel to the Dominican Republic to complete the transaction. Okay, now important notice. Keep this in mind. All payments are non-refundable. All monies paid through the transaction, including reservation fee, deposit, construction payments, and final payment, are strictly non-refundable. If any payments are missed, you are at risk of losing all funds previously paid. Please ensure your financing is confirmed before submitting reservation. Okay. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat. I will be going through the frequently asked questions. Okay, so the first question is, can foreigners buy property in Dominican Republic? Yes. So foreigners are entitled to receive the same right as locals, with the sole exception of participation in local political activities. Foreign investors are subject to the same rules and regulations that apply to domestic counterparts. Can the property purchase be under my name? So the property you purchase in the Dominican Republic can be held under your name. However, if you're looking to generate rental income, such as an Airbnb, it is highly recommended to hold the property under an LLC. And if you would like to know how to start an Airbnb business in the Dominican Republic, you can scan my barcode at the ending of this virtual open house and schedule a 15-minute buyer consultation. Do we need to get the pre-approval in Dominican Republic? Okay, so for pre-construction, you do not need a pre-approval. So it's not required in the Dominican Republic as properties are purchased in cash. For those who do not have the full amount available, many developments offer payment plans. These plans typically require payment every 30 days if a payment is missed. The buyer risks forfeiting both the property and full funds to date. So now, what documents a foreigner needs? To purchase property in the Dominican Republic, foreigners are required to provide a valid passport, proof of funds, and basic personal information, and that's it. That's simple. Ready to take the next step? Scan the barcode and schedule your free 15-minute buyer consultation today, and we walk you through the entire documentation process together. Can I rent my property short-term? Yes, short-term rentals, Airbnb, are completely legal in the Dominican Republic, making your property a fantastic income generating opportunity. So if you want to know, again, how to start Airbnb, book your 15-minute buyer consultation. We could go in more depth on what is needed to start your Airbnb business. Now for a recap. Lastly, if you're serious about investing in Dominican Republic, I want to personally invite you to Cle Folio's vacation weekend. This is a 3-day real estate event taking place November 6th through the 9th, right in the Dominican Republic. Is designated to help you purchase safely, legally, and profitably. No guesswork, no confusion. Excursions and education are included, and Spanish speakers are welcome. So early bird tickets are $198, and this price is that price until August 31st. After August 31st, the price will go up. You can register at drvacationweekends@eventbrite.com. Follow me through all social medias at Cle Folio, so you can receive updates about the vacation weekend, or if you direct message me, you could comment here. This is your chance to experience the country firsthand and make your investment journey a reality. I hope to see you there. Just as purchasing a home in the United States can build wealth over time, investing in Dominican Republic real estate offers the same opportunity for long-term financial growth and stability, with the added bonus of tropical lifestyle and strong rental demand. This is more than a transaction for many of our buyers. This is a lifestyle milestone, a first international investment, a vacation home, a legacy property for their family, or the foundation of a real estate portfolio that spans borders. Your goals are our commitment. We are honored to be a part of your journey, and we do not take lightly the trust you have placed in us to guide you through this process. This is just the beginning. The Dominican Republic is filled with incredible opportunity, and we look forward to continuing to serve you, support you, and celebrate every milestone along the way. Thank you for joining Cle Folio at our virtual open house. Scan the QR code below to schedule your complimentary 15-minute buyer consultation. We can't wait to make your vision a reality. Your goal is our commitment. Let's dive into your journey. Scan for clefolio.com or scan for your buyer consultation. Nice visiting. Thank you for joining. Have a great day.